Hello, everyone. My name is Daniel. I'm here with my colleague Paola from SPI, and we have with us Ákos Bálint from Health in Motion, or Himo, one of the beneficiaries of the prototyping voucher of DIGI-B-CUBE. Ákos, thank you very much for being with us here today. Ákos is connecting from Romania, from Tugmureș, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. And Ákos, we talked a bit before starting this recording, and I guess one of the questions I have is, what is the best thing, or what do you like most about what people call the startup life? We often associate it with this creative process where there's a lot to be developed. You can shape the company in many different ways. And what is your opinion on that? How has the startup life, so to speak, been so far for you, for Himo?
Oh, well, that's a good question. So, well, as we discussed before, that we do not have a regular startup, let's say so, because this Himo is one project of ours. So we have basically a software development company that was started not long ago, and it's the host of the Himo project for a while. But what you mentioned, that this creativity process, and we have to invent basically everything, or to learn. Of course, we don't reinvent the wheel, but learn from others as much as possible. But we have to develop the processes for us, the technical background, everything. It's interesting from one point, exciting from one point of view, and but on the other hand, it's painfully slow.
I understand. So there's a lot of work just ongoing. I guess at the same time, there's that creative part. It still is connected with a lot of work you need to do in this part of it, in this stage of development. So we know, Ákos, that Health in Motion wants to tackle the issue of children with flatfoot by assessing their exercises, the physiotherapy behind this. But can you put in words for the people listening, what is your mission specifically in Himo, if you had to put it in just a few sentences?
It's to make physiotherapy fun, and this way help children with this malformation to be cured, to be treated much easier and much more effective. Basically the problem, so we don't treat flatfoot, but the exercises, the physiotherapeutic exercises treat the flatfoot, but these are very boring. So especially for children of I don't know, 6-7 years, it's very boring to stay on tiptoe every day for several times, 10 times, or 10 minutes or something like that. And if you connect these exercises with video games, then it's much more exciting. So people, basically, the children play by performing the exercises, and for them is beneficial. So it's very clear what is the benefit for the children, and also for the parents or the therapists is have the benefit that it's much easier to motivate the children. It's much easier to work with them. In the same time, for instance, a therapist can work with more children in parallel, not just with one. So there are, to put this together. So there is one benefit for one mission, one benefit for children, so to treat, and one for the physiotherapists is to increase the efficiency of their work.
See, Thank you, Ákos. And if relating to the next question I have, but addressing what you said, is how has the funding by DIGI-B-CUBE assisted you in that development in a specific area, perhaps, of the application?
Well, it was really a really big help for us because we arrived to a concept. We have a proof of concept of the technical solution, and we also did some research and interviews with the physiotherapists. So we validated the concept. We basically had everything what we could do to go further, but we do not have the resources to develop, well, not a product exactly, but a prototype that can be used by a physiotherapist or by a parent at home. And with the help of funding from DIGI-B-CUBE, we were able to develop a mobile application that does this assessment, so recognizes the exercises, and could also have developed a game that uses these inputs from the mobile app, and there's a figure that moves around in a city, and it's controlled by the exercises.
I see. Okay, so you're making, like you said, physiotherapy fun, specifically for children, I guess, that can see themselves moving in the game, right? Well, the figure moving in the game.
Yes.
Good to know. I'm aware you're partnering with a Portuguese company for this, correct? With iPcare?
Yes.
So that is still ongoing. Is there some way you distribute the tasks on this project? For instance, you do more, say, the technical side, they do some sort of other aspects, or how is this divided?
Yes, we did the technical part, we did the software development. We had also a partner here in Romania, also a physiotherapist. And these two physiotherapists, one in Romania and one in Portugal, helped to validate the idea, validate the concept, to test, because well, this is a prototype, so it's you need some background knowledge to use it. So how far the children or the leg should be from the mobile camera, what kind of socks the children should wear in order to be able to recognize their foot, how to position the mobile phone and the camera, how to connect it to the game, how to instruct the children, etc., etc. So there were a lot of well, social engineering, and both therapists helped to develop this, well, this how to use the system. This is one hand. On the other hand, we needed a whole treatment session for physiotherapists who want to use it, because these are special exercises, although they are not complicated, but you need a warm-up, you need to do the exercises, you need stretching after the special exercises, how many exercises from how many repetitions from one exercise and the other exercise. So a whole therapy session had to be developed. So the both therapists helped to develop this, and again, validate, test, see how the children react to these instructions.
See.
And this was one part. Another part that's an ongoing collaboration with the university. here in Romania, and they need input. So the goal of this collaboration is to develop a better method to discover or to recognize, to identify the exercises, a more robust and a more precise method, algorithm, and they need input for that. And the therapists can provide this input. These are small videos with the green background, so about the exercises. Legs with socks and without socks, and from front and from the side, and all kind of videos and pictures about children feet.
Okay, so if I understand, Ákos, from what you said, I mean, the partnership with universities, with, of course, the physiotherapists, a lot of background knowledge that is required, like you said yourself, the videos, to put it in my words, of what does a healthy walk of a child look like, a healthy stride. All of this is at a relatively good stage of development. So where would you see, or where would you like to see Himo in, say, 5 years? The traditional job interview question.
Oh yeah. Well, we have the plans. We know what we have to do, and we need the resources, the energy to do it. We discussed with the company who developed the game for us, and we put together a more complex and more well, bigger, let's say, bigger game like this one for the prototype, because you have to maintain the interest level of the children. So if you create just a simple game that can be played in several hours, and it gets boring after several weeks. And well, now there's a much complex, much bigger concept of game, and so it just has to be developed. It just have to be implemented, and also this we have to make more robust the gesture recognition part, and we need the portal where we connect the physiotherapist to the patients, so where they can track the exercises or therapy, or the way they can communicate with the patients and whatever. So
this is supposed to be some sort of then almost personalized app, I'm assuming, where you can provide the data or the videos directly to the physiotherapist, and he can communicate back with the patient.
Yes, and then the physiotherapist can track when the exercises were performed, how many times per week, how difficult they are, so they can increase the level of difficulty as during the progress, and so on. We had very good feedbacks from those who used the prototype. So even with the fallacies of or the weaknesses that the prototype has, even though they were really glad to use it, and they like to use it. So we have the motivation to go further, and yeah, and with just turning back a little bit to our mission, flatfoot is a very neglected problem here in Romania, and I think also in not so much, but also in Hungary. So these are the two countries we have some information, and there are a lot of children with this problem. So it's 1/3 of the children. We had we did some researches in different schools in different cities, and then like 25%, 25 to 30% of the children had this deformity, and it's neglected, and very much of them they grew up without treatment, and they have this problem in adulthood, and it leads to several deformations, skeletal deformations, hip, knees, whatever. And we want not just develop something and give something for the physiotherapists, but to increase the awareness in the population that this is something you should treat. So if your children has this problem, then just not be neglected, because he might have a problem later, and it's easy to cure. So it's not, you don't need a surgery, you don't need expensive medicals, pills, just some exercises.
I can relate because I had flatfoot as a kid too, so it was very much of tiptoe walking, back foot, heel walking, etc. So I can very much relate to what you said. And it's boring, yes, at the time where there were no apps or videos. So did you have flat for yourself, just out of curiosity, or how did I'm asking in general to know about your background, I guess. How did you get to this idea?
Well, as I already told you that we started with electromyography and treating patients who after stroke or other brain injury, so helping them to regain the movement of the hand. So but there were a lot of problems with hands, because there are a lot of muscles there, and well, it's complicated topic. We had a doctor at the beginning helping us, and we involved the physiotherapist who we are working now together. And he said that, well, why not focus on flatfoot, because it's much easier from technical point of view. And from business perspective, it's also better, because there are much more children with flatfoot than people with stroke and disabilities after stroke or any other brain injury. So let's focus on flatfoot, because he was also he was doing at the time gym, how to put this in English, no, exercises for the in kindergarten for the children. So regularly he visited kindergarten groups to make physical exercises for them, and then he find out that there are a lot of children with this problem.
So at kindergarten age, so 3 to 5
yes.
or something. Okay.
Yes.
Oh. Ákos, what are, say, I mean, this will be on my side, I guess, one of the last or the last question. What are the next steps, say the things maybe in the next couple of months, or if not weeks, that are awaiting you now in 2022?
Well, the next step is to finalize our project plan. So to make a detailed plan of what we want to do, what are the costs, what are the gains. So a proper business plan to do with it, and then go ahead and find some fundings for it.
Okay. Are you targeting any specific funds by now, or?
We have several, not several, that's not true, that's several. We were thinking on these EU research funds. Here in Romania, at least, the competition is not too big for these funds because there are not so many researches. So this R&D projects is quite well, relatively easy to get funded.
Okay. Then well, Ákos, Paula, myself, we can only wish you all the best going into this year. We have all the questions on our side, and I think I would say, just in general, whenever you have any question we can help you with as SPI, do contact us. I mean, now you have some more faces to the firm if you need anything, and we will keep in touch. Also, for of course, when we edit the recording, when we make it clean, and before we launch it on social media, we can share with you a couple of suggestions so you can share them on your social media too. And for I say, coming from being a former child with flatfoot, I genuinely hope it goes well.
I see.
Sorry, can I make a question just
Sure.
out of curiosity? I wanted to understand what were the challenges, what are the challenges of developing an idea during pandemic? I mean, if you had some particular struggle that you had to deal with for your project.
Mm-hmm. Well, I can't say that pandemics influenced too much this project, except that there were short periods when there were no, so it was not allowed to do this physiotherapy at the therapist's not office but gym. But basically the communication was not a problem because we could communicate by phone or online, anything. We had videos, so for we needed input for the image processing part, the gesture recognition application, but we could do it with the videos and by ourselves. So I also performed exercises and tested the algorithm. I have 2 children, I can do with them as well. And we had the communication with the game developers, but it's a game, so it was no problem doing it online.
Yes, I was curious about the part of making the videos and having the children performing. So you had the possibility to do it at home, and that was interesting. Thank you very much for this clarification.
Thank you very much from me too, Ákos. And like I said, before we will send you the recording, and then latest then we will talk. If in the meantime you have any questions, also just come to us, please.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. And nice, well, lunchtime, or have you had lunch already?
I had already.
Okay, then nice afternoon.
For you the same.
Talk to you soon. Thank you, Ákos.
Okay,
Bye.
thanks. Bye-bye.
Goodbye.
Bye.